This is WGRG 100.5 FM, where we meet the absolute minimum FCC broadcasting standards. It's time to hang on and brace yourself for a community radio program that's frankly indescribable. Let's talk Geneseo. Two guys with nothing better to do on a Friday morning but to talk about our community. Geneseo City Administrator Brandon Meglin and City Alderman Keith Kennett. And yeah, nobody, and I mean nobody, puts the blah in blah 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 like these guys do.
And good Friday morning, and you're listening to and viewing Let's Talk Geneseo for this Friday, September 19th. Keith Kennett with you here in the studio, and if everything is working properly, my cohort in crime, Brandon, should be live in Chicago. And Brandon, can you hear me, and can you communicate back?
Good morning, Keith. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it seems to be working. So, whoa, excuse me. So what brings you to our fine, large city sharing, our fine, large city in the state that we share, downtown Chicago? I guess you have some things going on there that you can share with us. How's that for an awkward intro?
Well, first of all, it's nice your 20-year-old Comerex device is working from downtown Chicago, so that's a huge plus. But yeah, we're here at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Chicago for the Illinois Municipal League Conference. It's an annual conference that the IML puts on, where elected officials from around the state gather to learn about new things going on, hear from experts in different fields. Some of our elected officials that cover Geneseo are here. We'll get a chance to interact with them a little bit. And this morning, this is kind of a fourth ward show, because Alderman Barnhart and Swanson both joined me here this morning in the lobby of the Hyatt here in downtown Chicago, and we thought, since we're all here, we'll take a chance to get to know the alderman a little bit better.
Well, there you go, and maybe Brandon, you could set the table a little bit. Just kind of what's the atmosphere that you're in right now? Maybe describe your surroundings.
Well, it's a big glass lobby. And it's downtown Chicago, so of course the traffic is already hustle and bustling, and the lobby is full of people this early in the morning. And people are getting their breakfast, getting ready to head to the conference here. Mike Singletary is the keynote speaker this morning. That takes place at 9 a.m. here at the conference, so that should be a neat, inspirational speech for everybody attending.
Yeah, and we should point out that we did make actually a little effort. Brandon actually made a fairly significant effort to see if we could get Mike lined up here for the broadcast this morning, but that didn't pan out.
Yeah, we reached out to his people. We thought maybe there's a 2-3% chance that we would hear back and he would want to join us in the lobby before speaking at 9, but no dice.
Well, it's his loss, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, so take it away, Brandon.
Yeah, so we'll shift it over to the fourth ward updates here, and I don't think we've had you guys on the program before, have we?
No, Brandon, you have not.
So that's Alderman Kent Swanson that you hear from the fourth ward, and we'll kind of start with them. Kent, what inspired you to join the council? And, what pushed you forward to stay on the council now for a second term?
Well, Brandon, my father was an alderman for the city of Geneseo for 16 years, public servant for 30 on other boards. So I grew up around it in my house, and I saw what serving the city of Geneseo meant to him and helping out the constituents of his ward. And I thought that's something that I wanted to do someday, and the opportunity arose, so I jumped on it, and here I am.
All right. And then Alderman Barnhart, welcome. Good morning. How about you?
Good morning. I've been serving now for 6 years. So just over 7 years ago, I was working with Jason Robinson on a number of issues, who was a fourth ward alderman at that time. There was an opening in the board. I've lived in Geneseo now for about 13 years. There was an opening in the board, and so he invited me to run. And at that time, the board and everything was going through a bit of a transition, and some hot topics were happening. So it was a very interesting way to really get super involved in the city. I started off on the planning and zoning board, and then got elected to the council. And it's just, Geneseo has been such a welcoming community for myself and my family. My youngest two children have literally grown up here in Geneseo. What an amazing way to give back to the community and to help steer the community into our future. We're so lucky that today our board is very united, our council is very united. We have amazing staff. And so, we've gone from a position of trying to rebuild things into just helping make sure that we are propelling the city to the future.
Yeah, and your house is pretty famous on Main Street, Geneseo. I think most people, well, if they don't know where you live, they're going to know after this. So you guys do the Dragons on Main, or your wife Holly really, it's a passion of hers in October. Can you tell us a little bit about that and if that's going to be happening this year again?
Yes, it is very exciting. I think we're on year 4 of doing the Dragons on Main. Even before I joined the council, we were heavy into the holiday season with Halloween. We do all the holidays, but Halloween and then Christmas. So I used to participate in the Christmas decoration competitions, and then we stopped doing that when I joined the city council. But starting October 1st, every day in October, we live on Main Street, the corner of Main and Henry, more or less, right west of the city park. My wife, I take zero credit for it, every day does a new decoration with skeletons. We build a stage right along the street. And it's an amazing way to be involved in the community. We get so much feedback. A lot of times when we're selling things on Facebook or whatever, we'll just say where we live, and they're like, "Oh, the Dragon House." So we do have a Facebook page called Dragons on Main. But it's like I say, it's fun. Kids driving by in buses to the school every day look forward to seeing what the new decorations are going to look like. And again, it's just another way. And the beautiful thing about that is when we moved here, our end of the block got very few trick-or-treaters. For those who know, going down South State Street is really where, and then of course in our ward, and then other wards have different things, is where a lot of the trick-or-treating happens, and that's always kind of known for that's where people go. But as we've been doing more and more things, more of our neighbors are decorating. We're getting more kids coming down. We have a little spot to take photos and different things, so we're really excited to do it for the community.
Yeah, I even got a 12-foot skeleton going on North Russell now, too. And that's a Tabitha thing, but I think inspired by Dragons on Main.
Yeah, there you go.
Alderman Swanson, any dragons in your future?
No, we do decorate the yard a little bit. I will put up some corn stalks, maybe some pumpkins, but nothing like Brett and his wife do. And like Brett said, if you haven't seen it, drive by. It's an amazing scene. It's festive. Halloween looks great. They do outstanding job at Christmas, Easter, St. Patrick's Day. They bring in all the holidays. And so Brett and Holly do a wonderful job decorating their house up. And it is a main attraction in Geneseo come holiday season.
Definitely a highlight of the 4th Ward to go check out during the month of October. So, what are some of your guys, I'll just throw some of these out to both you guys, anybody can jump in, priorities going on at the city council level right now, or things in the 4th Ward that are on the radar for you guys coming up?
Well, the main thing right now is we just completed second phase of our State Street project. We'll start the next phase in the spring of 2026. Much needed upgrade to the infrastructure there. We do have future projects coming down the road. Basically, the goal is to make sure that the infrastructure is sound and secure, and that we provide our citizens of Geneseo with the proper utilities and infrastructure needs that they have to have.
You know, and adding to what Kent just talked about, one of the exciting things about being here at IML is hearing what other communities are doing and what other communities are challenged by. And, it's something that Geneseo absolutely faces, but other communities have much higher challenges is keeping up with infrastructure around water and sewer and electrical. And, one of the things that I commend the city staff for is really working to put together a solid plan for the future of how do we continue to chip away at various aging infrastructure, but also with the city of how do we remain fiscally responsible. It wasn't too long before I joined that, I don't know, so maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I'm going on a limb, that the city was essentially out of money. And we were down to just a few months of operating cash. And that's an awful position for any city to be in. And I know that there is a perception that Geneseo is expensive, and I'm not saying it's a perception as in it's not real. We offer a lot of services to our citizens, and we invest a lot in our infrastructure and services to make sure that we are going to be viable in the future. And unfortunately, that does come with a cost. However, I do feel that the city works extremely hard to minimize that. We, for example, it's a lot of cities will actually add taxes to actually pay for bonds directly, and those are things that the city has as just part of our budget. We do not add any taxes to our citizens for bonds directly, but we spend a lot of time, and it's something we're working on right now. I recommend people to go back if you have an opportunity and watch the city council meeting from last week, where we are really trying to project projects in the future and make sure that we are fiscally prepared for them. We slot in projects into a 5 or 6 year plan so that we are planning to replace aging infrastructure, so we are preparing ourselves for surprises. And again, a lot of that is absolutely the city staff. They're amazing, and the council's job is really to support the staff and to represent our citizens. But across the board, I have found that our citizens are are content to pay taxes and such when they see that we are spending the money very responsibly. We keep the city looking well during COVID. We had discussions about, do we cut back services because we were really unsure of what was going to happen to our retail sales tax. And we had a pretty heavy outcry from our citizenry about not stopping trimming the cemeteries and the sidewalk, walking, the public access areas. And so it's keeping the city looking nice is something that's extremely important to our public, and that's something the council takes seriously.
Yeah, and on the topic of constituents, how do you guys, when you do hear back from citizens or want input from people, how do you keep in touch with people, and what do you encourage people to do if they would like to express their opinion on something to you?
Well, a lot of times you can communicate through emails, texting, phone calls. I tell my constituents that I have an open door policy. If you have a question and you want to discuss something, come on over. We'll sit at my dining room table and have a cup of coffee and we'll discuss it. I want to hear what you have to say. And I'm there to try to fix your problems and help you as best as I can.
Yeah, I'll totally echo what Kent said. It's, our contact information is on the city website. I do have a Facebook page. I'm not as active as probably as I should be. But, encourage people to call, text, email. I prefer, modern era. Email and text is absolutely the best way of getting a hold of me. But then one thing I want to mention about Geneseo, which is really nice, is yes, we have 4 wards. We don't really think about that when it comes to our constituents. In other words, if someone calls me and they're in the 1st ward, I'm not going to say, hey, I'm not going to talk to you. Likewise, we don't think about projects, we don't think about services in terms of what ward is that, who's that going to really benefit. We're 100% in this for the city of Geneseo and what's best for the city. So long story short, if you have a alderman that you are more comfortable with. You don't necessarily have to contact your ward representative. Feel free to contact any alderman. We all have an open policy. We want to hear from our constituents. We want to know what the community is thinking. So with zero hesitation, everybody on the board, everybody on the council wants to hear from folks, whether good or bad. And if you have ideas of things we can do better, or there's a Facebook discussion going on the last couple days about a given topic, and I'm like, come talk to your alderman, come to the city council and present an idea. We're always open to new ideas, new ways of doing things. We want to hear from people.
All right, guys. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share on Let's Talk Geneseo, or to Mr. Kennett back in the studio?
You're doing a great job
real
there,
quick,
Brandon.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Coach Furlong and the Green Machine. Good luck tonight on your trip to Moline, and let's go in there and get a victory and see if we can't spoil their homecoming. And I would like to give a shout out to the Little League Lions, who I helped coach, Coach Bill Kernan, Jason Carton, Jake Osborne, Dave Mueller, and Preston Jones. Great job in bringing home the victory last night against the Colts. Congratulations, Lions.
Well, I don't know if I can really follow up with that, but it is fun to, obviously we're all very proud of our sports programs, and we just want everybody to encourage to support local activities, support your local businesses. Geneseo is a shining jewel in our area, and I think we all do an excellent job of it, but keep talking about the amazing things that are going on in your hometown, and spread the word. It's a wonderful place to live, so let's share that.
All right. Well, thank you, Alderman Swanson and Barnhart, for joining me early morning down here in the lobby in the Hyatt downtown Chicago. Keith, we'll send it back to you in Geneseo. What else is going on this weekend?
Well, there are quite a few things going on. Of course, Alderman Swanson just referenced tonight the Green Machine do head to Moline. So we're hoping for a good outcome there, and looking forward to Moline. This is their first season with their new turf field, so it'll be kind of interesting seeing their new setup there. And tomorrow, though, a big marching band competition here in Geneseo, the annual Maple Leaf Classic, will have, I'm not sure on the exact number, but I think it's about a dozen or so bands that will be performing in the later afternoon and then also into the evening. So check that out. And then on Sunday, they have the choirs performing in City Park. So a lot going on this weekend, as per usual, Brandon, here in good old Geneseo. So, but nice job. Hope you guys had a nice breakfast and stuff. So share with us, Brandon, what is a Brandon breakfast when you're in the big city of Chicago?
Well, honestly, it's a large coffee.
Well, there you go. And it's a very budget-friendly meal. Very impressive.
Yes. Well, we should also mention, Keith, that we have a committee of the whole meeting of the City Council this upcoming Tuesday. Alderman Barnhart referenced that we're working on a number of things regarding capital projects and rate design right now. So encourage any feedback on that as we continue to run through that and come up with that structure. And then, we should mention, too, I think it was about a week ago now, that the North State Street, Alderman Swanson talked about that project a little bit. That route is now open completely. The contractors are doing seeding and reseeding of boulevard areas. And then we're going to see tree replantings. There'll be more trees going in than came out, which is a common question and concern that people have. Those will be going in November, which is ideal tree planting conditions when the weather's right.
All right. Well, with that, I'll let you guys get on to your activities for the day. From Chicago, the Illinois Municipal League, and I think you did reference that, but maybe real quick, Brandon, the Illinois Municipal League, the IML, what's the significance and the importance of the for the city to be involved in that organization?
So, I didn't want to mention.
Yeah, so the Illinois Municipal League, we joined, they support a number of the issues and things that are going on in Springfield with our elected officials that affect cities. number of legislation that affect us when it comes to tax issues or infrastructure issues, funding from the federal government. They lobby to make sure that cities have a voice in Springfield. We also get all of our insurance services from the IML to make sure that all of our properties, vehicles, all the city equipment is properly protected. They come out and do safety training with our employees, which is very important, to make sure that we're up to date on everything.
Okay, well, I'll let you carry on with things there, Brandon, but good job again technically behind the scenes. This is it's interesting how we make this all work, but a big part of that is Brandon being able to pick up on some of the stuff quickly and make it all happen. So good job, Brandon, and also appreciate the time with Kent and Brett, and safe travels, and we'll see you back when you're here in Geneseo.
All right. Have a great weekend, Keith.
Yeah, you too. And with that, that's going to wrap up Let's Talk Geneseo for this Friday, September 19th. We very much appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be back next Friday with another edition of Let's Talk Geneseo. You've been listening to WGRG 100.5 FM, and have a great weekend.